Today I was up at the crack of dawn to drive all the way to Hampshire, where later on I'll be running the Portsmouth Festive Half Marathon. And we're starting on Southsea's historic seafront, so come with me and enjoy the journey. Chuffed to bits. Isn't it amazing? Buns of steel and liver transplants, sand. Yeehaw! Portsmouth has 800 years of rich naval history. The place played a large part in the D-Day landings, but it goes back a lot farther than that. We've just run past, or we're about to run past, something called Lump's Fort, and that actually used to be a semaphore station back in the early 1800s, because if they needed to get messages from London or from Portsmouth to London about what was happening on the channel, they had people on ice spots with flags, and Lump's Fort was the semaphore station to communicate directly with London. And it was just here out of town because of the smog of industrial Portsmouth, meant at least people could see the flags. I mentioned naval history, going back a long way. If you visit Portsmouth, you can go and see the Mary Rose, which was King Henry VIII's flagship, the actual ship. He built it in 1511 and then it sank, and they raised it off the bottom of the ocean in 1982. It had been underwater for 450 years, and you can see it here. And on that wreck they also found some plant remains and things like that, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in about half a mile's time. You know, originally it was like, oh, we're moving. Another great naval hero who was based here was Admiral Lord Nelson, and you can come and see HMS Victory, the actual ship. Yes, it's been restored, but come and see HMS Victory right here in Portsmouth. 10 to 12 years of restoration, I've been reliably told. This is where I'm glad I wore trail shoes. They're quite slippy, be careful. Trail shoes, definitely. So we've just cut inland here, and that shingle spit that we started on goes all the way across there, and on it is a place called Cumberland Fort. And Cumberland Fort was created in the early 1800s as part of the defence against the French or any other invaders, and it had some quite impressive artillery for the time based there. And now it's got other companies based there, like one of which is a Portsmouth distillery, and they do a range of spirits, and one of the gins is called Tudor gin, and it's actually made with the same botanicals that they found on the Mary Rose, so that's nice. This run is an out and back. Well, we're going pretty much as far as you can see up there, because what we know as Portsmouth is in fact an island city. But we're going to go up to the top there, where there's a bridge and a ferry across to Hayling Island, which is what you see over there. So Hayling Island used to rely on fishing and farming and salt production. You forget, or I forget anyway, just how important salt production must have been in olden times, when there was no other way of preserving fresh fish and fresh meat. Drying it, salting it, brining it, and it was these coastal places that made a living out of creating salt. And we've seen that. We've seen salt pans up on the Edinburgh Half. We saw them on the Gower, and here over there on Hayling Island, same again.
Really? Yes, she did. That's good.
This is what they call the People's Memorial.
Yeah, quite like doing it with our own. Yeah.
Fallen servicemen. Nowadays though, Hayling Island is much better known as a holiday resort with miles of lovely footpaths and miles of blue flag beaches, Funland amusement park and loads of other lovely places. These works you can see behind me, all part of upgrading the sea defences, because when the weather's bad, the weather is bad. Not much to say as we're going down this bit of dull road, so I'll just bring you up to date with where I am on the 5k PB mission. I've not been very good at keeping to the plan the last couple of weeks, and I've chosen to skip a couple of runs. Today the plan is calling for a 7-mile run between 9:15 and 9:45 a mile, and so I'm going to try and do 7 miles at sub 10 minutes, and then rather than the 2-minute cool down that the app says, I'm going to do a 6-mile cool down. See how we go. When they finish repairing these defences and this footpath reopens, you can see it'll be pretty lovely. This is the Tudor Sailing Centre. You see sailing, windsurfing, sup, climbing, kayaking. It says windsurfing. That's Hayling Island's claim to fame, because Hayling Island is where windsurfing was invented.
If you need to go, I'll probably use these ones first.
Thank you.
Much of what we know as Portsmouth is in fact on an island. It's on Portsea Island, and this here is the Broom Channel. That's Hayling Island over there, and the Broom Channel goes in, just going over the bridge, and that's Ports Creek, and that's what actually separates Portsea Island from the rest of England, if you like, which is why Portsmouth regards itself as an island city. There you go. We're at not yet 5 miles, and they're on their way back, having hit the turnaround at 6.5. Sadly we're running alongside, I think it's the M275, the main motorway that goes all the way down to Southampton, I think. There's the turnaround point. Back again we go. Hold on. So what you see behind me, which I thought might be the start of Hayling Island, is in fact Farlington Marshes Nature Reserve. You get a huge amount of migratory birds. Now back to the main road, and then this is Ports Creek, gets us back onto Portsea Island. Over there, as you can see, Kendall's Quay. Kendall's Quay is where they dredge out loads of shingle and sand and gravel from Langstone Harbour and use it for construction and cement works as well, I think. Thank you. So over there is Hayling Island. As we know, we've got a couple of miles left to go. So this is that shingle spit that had Fort Cumberland on it, I mentioned at the beginning. And right on the end of the shingle spit there, you can see the University of Portsmouth School of Marine Science. That's a pretty good place to put it, isn't it? So we've done the half up to Hayling Island and back. Then there's a marathon and an ultra. And the ultra boys go all the way to where we went to, and all the way down Hayling Island to a little cafe just opposite the end of this spit, and then they come all the way back. Phew, eh? Everything's hurting now. We're just hanging in there.
Oh, that's great job.
Thank you. There we go. Portsmouth Festive half marathon done. Time 2:17, so not bad at all. Last 2-3 miles were the hardest. It was a struggle, always is. Feel very proud that I've done it. We've now got a half-mile walk to get the medal. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you very soon.